What's up, everybody? My name is Scott Waters. Welcome to No Life to Metal. Going to be doing a vinyl update, CD and vinyl update today. Took a trip to Texas. So went out to hang out with my brothers from the Metal Roundtable, which is another YouTube channel that I'm involved in. If you haven't checked out the Metal Roundtable, do check out the Metal Roundtable on YouTube. Just do a search. You'll find it on YouTube. Very easy. And check it out and subscribe. It's a different style channel, but still focused on all things hard rock and heavy metal, much like my No Life to Metal channel is here. So, went out there to hang out with them. We shot a couple videos. We hit a bunch of record stores. So I thought I'd show what I picked up. Some of this is stuff I bought. Some of it's stuff that was given to me, but I want to go through this. There's a lot here, so I'm going to get right into it. I'm going to do the CDs first. First of all, I went to, and this is not in any particular order, because we went to a lot of record stores on different days and whatnot, but went to Born Late Records, which, of course, Born Late Records is the store owned by Henry Vasquez, drummer from St. Vitus, Blood of the Sun. If you ever get a chance, if you are a hard rock and heavy metal fan and you ever get a chance, go into that store. You will be blown away. It's huge. It's packed full of records and CDs and merchandise, cassettes, vintage t-shirts, new t-shirts, just stuff. I mean, if you're into collecting stuff, you know, that has to do with rock and metal, you will love that store. It's just awesome. In any case, this was a sticker that they gave me when I walked out of the store, so Born Late Records. And while I was in there, and I knew he worked there, so I brought these along. John Perez from AETURNUS, and I had him sign 2 different CDs, and he graciously did. It was very kind of him. I mean, he didn't have to. He was working, you know. But I, on the way out the door, thanked him again. I said, hey, you know, after he checked me out, I said, hey, John, I appreciate you signing my CDs. He goes, oh, no problem, man. He goes, you made me feel like a rock star. So that was really nice of him, you know. And then I mentioned, yeah, we started a conversation. I mentioned I sang in a band for 20 years. And he said, what's the band? I said, Ultimatum. Oh, I remember it. He immediately goes to Discogs and points out, and he remembered the Ultimatum Metal Mag, the old fanzine we used to do and whatnot. He said he collects old metal fanzines, and he has a bunch of them. So it was pretty cool that he remembered who we were. In any case, so got 2 CDs signed by AETURNUS. So Through the Darkest Hour and Adagio, which is one of my all-time favorite melodic doom metal records. So fantastic stuff. Now, I didn't buy those there. I brought those with me, but I still wanted to show them because I got them autographed. Now, this next one is a comp that my buddy John made for me, Carcass John, and he's one of the hosts of the Metal Roundtable, and he made me this cool comp from OZRIC Tentacles. And I have checked out OZRIC Tentacles before on YouTube, but this comp, I've just been addicted to it. He made me a bunch of other comps, which I'm not going to show right now, but man, I just love this comp. It's not metal, it's not heavy, it's not even hard rock. It is progressive, it is experimental, it is infectious. There's just something about this band that I find very infectious, almost relaxing, mesmerizing, almost just great stuff. So thanks, John, for making this for me. I've already ordered my first OZRIC Tentacles record, so that is on the way. You can actually see the CD is not even in here because the CD is still in the CD player. So there you go. Carcass John made that for me. And there's several from this band here that now these I did not buy. These were given to me, I must confess. But there's 3 from Texas Thrashers, Warbeast. This is their second album. This is Destroy. This is their first album, I believe, which is Crush the Enemy. Both those albums were produced by Philip Anselmo. And there's a connection here to Rigor Mortis, of course, with the original vocalist from Rigor Mortis, who passed away just a couple years ago, 2011, I think, singing for this band. And I believe Warbeast are no more. And then I'm going to have a pile of stuff in front of me here. And then the recently re-released, I believe this is a CD and a DVD together, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't popped this one open yet. Again, when I get a lot from one artist, I don't like to put them all on at one time because you just kind of lose track of what you're listening to. You don't really get into it. So I've been playing this one, and I've spun it twice already, and this is great Texas thrash metal. I mean, really, really good stuff. Now this band, again, I picked these up. I haven't heard them yet, but again, these come from Texas and thrash metal Amoricide, which I guess means death of love. But in any case, again, brand new. Like I said, I haven't even cracked them open yet. So that is Horror Up in the Flesh, and this one is The Essence of Evil. And I'm looking forward to checking those out. And maybe some of you guys already know that band. And let me know what you think of them. Again, like I said, I haven't played those yet. I just got them. I got a pile of stuff, so there's no way I can listen to all this stuff at one time, obviously. Good stuff. This is Liquid Sound. Again, haven't popped it open. I believe this is actually something from JP or John Perez's worked on. I could be wrong. I'm almost... so much happened on that trip. I can't remember everything that everybody told me and said. We had such a blast over there. And the thing was, we didn't really do a lot of like touristy things. We went to record stores on 2 different days of the 4 I was there. We shot some videos, but mostly we just sat around listening to music. Metal Rob and I sat and watched the Y&T documentary one evening. Just enjoyed ourselves, you know, just geeking out over metal stuff. So it was so cool. I gotta keep going. Again, haven't heard this one. This is 4 Days to Burn. I think this is Death Thrash. As you can see, it's still got the shrink wrap on it. This one is one that Metal Rob had a pile of CDs on the floor, and he goes, "Go through and see if you want anything." And I was like, I didn't want to take his stuff. I just wasn't into it. So, but on the very top, I saw something that kind of piqued my interest, so I grabbed it because I know it's not an expensive CD, but one I wanted to check out. So this is G3 Live in Concert, Satriani, Johnson, and Vi on Epic Records. So it's the only CD I took out of that big giant pile of CDs he told me I could take anything I wanted from. And this is death metal, I believe. I haven't heard this one again, but this one comes suggestion from John too, Carcass John. This is the Rabid Flesh Eaters. And then finally on CD I picked up, and this one I showed in a recent video and played a little bit of it, but this is Blood of the Sun, the original cover for Death Ride. Third album from Texas, Blood of the Sun, 70s influenced sound with Derek St. Holmes on vocals, and yeah, Henry Vasquez from St. Vitus on drums, fantastic stuff. We also hit up Doc's. We had quite a few stores, and Texas has got some great stores with lots of great stuff. There's Doc's. Alright, so that's the CDs that I picked up. There was also a DVD that was given to me by Carcass John. This is the Rigor Mortis documentary. I popped it open. I haven't listened to it yet. He gave me also a little flyer from one of the shows to promote this thing, so I'm gonna keep it in there with it. But I haven't had a chance to watch this one yet either. But Rigor Mortis, these guys have some unreleased live material, and I'm really hoping that there's a possibility some of that live material is very well recorded apparently from the 80s is going to get released on CD. So can't say a whole lot until I know for sure, but looking forward to that. So Rigor Mortis, welcome to your funeral, the story of Rigor Mortis. All right, so the vinyl. Now I picked up quite a few 7-inches. I'm gonna not show those this time around, just because I have so much to show here. I'm going to just show the 12-inch vinyl. And all these are full-length albums. There's no singles or anything like that here. So I picked up this, interestingly enough, for like under 10 bucks. It was pretty inexpensive. Again, the original cover, original pressing on Brain Ticket Records. And I don't know this band well enough to know how scarce this album is, but according to Metal Rob, this album is on vinyl is pretty hard to find. But this copy was in really pristine condition for, I believe, I'm pretty sure I paid under 10 bucks. I should have left the sticker on it so I could remember. But anyhow, since I had it, and a couple days later we went to see Henry Vasquez at his One Late Records. He actually wasn't there when we got there, but ended up showing up anyhow, so I had him sign it. And as you can see in the bottom corner down there, he actually signed it to me, Henry Vasquez, with the little St. Vitus V at the bottom. So very cool. Again, super nice guy Henry was. He very funny guy. If you're easily offended, don't hang out with him because he will make you laugh. He's a funny guy, and he likes to pick on people. So he was picking on Metal Rob the whole time they were there. They like to call him Hair Metal Rob, but you know, we also tease about on you know, on the metal round table that the two of us and Carcass John are part of. And yeah, he loves hair metal, but you know what? So do I. I also love thrash metal. I love 70s music. I love progressive stuff. There's so much great music out there. But you know, Rob is really into that 80s style, you know, docking, and there's nothing wrong with that. But of course, everybody has to tease him for it. So this is not one I bought there. One I picked up last year, was on my top 20 for 2020 list. But this is the self-titled St. Vitus album. And again, as you can see on the bottom corner down here, Henry Vasquez signed it for me. Very kind of him. So, to Scott, stay heavy, Henry Vasquez. So, all right, this one I couldn't leave behind. I had this album, but it's just too good of a price and a score. Just not one you ever see out, you know, in a store. I believe I picked this one up at Doc's too. No, yeah, I think it was Doc's, and it was $9.99. So I had to grab it. This is Avenger of Blood's Death Brigade album. What a fantastic thrash album. New wave of thrash metal from the 2000s. It probably was, I don't know if there's a year on here, but this is from the now defunct Heavy Artillery Records. And let's see if I can remember the year on this. There's a year on this thing somewhere. Shannon Fry being the leader of this band, drummer, songwriter. Shannon is the bald guy right there in the middle. But yeah, if you're into that you know, that traditional style of thrash metal, heavily influenced by like the bands like I'd say Slayer, Creator, Destruction, that kind of sound on this album. 2007 Heavy Artillery Records. So I need to put this one on a new sleeve. It was actually in this sleeve, but this sleeve I didn't want it to split, so I put it in this one temporarily so I could put it in a better one. Avenger of Blood, Death Brigade. If you ever find a copy, well worth picking up. Great thrash. It was also released on CD. This one's cool because just recently I showed in the video the reissue of an old Metal Blade album from, I think, 1989, 1990 by a band called Eviction, and I also showed a CD that Todd Porter sent me. I ran into this again, very cheap, for 15 bucks. And again, at the same place that was at Doc's. So Doc's has very reasonable prices. They do have a section in there that's kind of like collector's vinyl, where, you know, the prices are a little more expensive. But man, 15 bucks for this album, I never see something like this live. But there's Todd in the middle, and what you got here is crossover thrash. This, I don't know what year this was released, so 2014. But this is all like 87, 88 demo stuff, and very well recorded. Great crossover thrash. You know, kind of has that. There's still a lot of the punk ethic into the sound, and a bit of hardcore, but it's definitely thrash metal. Kind of like you know, DRI, the Crucified, sort of in that kind of range. So very cool. Todd hooked me up. I didn't really know of Eviction until a year ago, and Todd hooked me up with that, a couple other albums. And matter of fact, I think I have one of them right here. Let's see there. Eviction. There it is. The World is Ours. Yeah, so I just showed that one in the video not too long ago, and just happened to stumble across this one, so nice score. This one doesn't belong in here. I don't know how that got in that pile. Alright, I picked this one up from Henry's store as well, Born Light Records. This is St. Vitus EP. It was a promotional thing by Scion, the car company Scion. It was the only copy they had there. It wasn't cheap, but I've never even seen a copy before, so I had to jump on it. Again, it's 45 RPM. It's basically an EP, 3-song EP, but it's a great live version of Born Too Late on here. So fantastic to finally score a copy of this, and I always thought that was a cool cover art. All right, next up, this is the split. This is a UK pressing of Whitesnake / Northwinds, the two early David Coverdale Whitesnake projects basically before you know, he was known as Whitesnake. So it's got both albums on here, 2 records, nice gatefold. Yeah, David Coverdale, this is a great album. I love this early David Coverdale stuff. Very much, you know, in the vein of that late Mach 3 era Deep Purple stuff. Many people call these guys, you know, one of the first wave of British heavy metal. I don't know. This is definitely stepping a bit more outside to the more blues-based rock sounds. But regardless, if you're a fan of Whitesnake, David Coverdale, Deep Purple, this is essential stuff. Highly worth picking up. This next one I haven't even cracked open yet. I have heard this band. This was actually given to me by Metal Rob, but this is Rot. and the album Triple Black. I believe this is their second or third album. And just straightforward heavy metal, pushing towards speed metal and maybe even thrash at times. A bit of groove here and there, but I don't know, just heavy metal. Not power metal. Not I wouldn't call them traditional metal. I wouldn't say they sound like Judas Priest at all. Again, they push more towards the speed and thrash. Just never really get to that over the top fast Exodus kind of vibe. So it's not really thrash. My advice, if you want to check out Triple Black, go to YouTube and check them out, because it's their own distinct sound. Again, they do have a little bit of a groove going on here and there, but good stuff. I haven't cracked this open yet, but I am familiar with them just because I checked them out on YouTube several times. So, Triple Black by Rot. All right, we still got 3 more here. Had to grab this one. This is an interesting one, but this is a solo album from WINO. WINO being, of course, the doom metal. I don't know, one of the forefathers of doom metal. He's sang for every band in the world, including, of course, Saint Vitus and Place of Skulls, among many others. I recently showed an album by a band from Albuquerque called Red Mesa, and he sang on one of their albums recently. But this is his solo record. This is an acoustic album, very kind of. It's not bluesy. It's just kind of earthy, down home. You got to be in the mood to listen to it. This is not heavy whatsoever. It does say the new solo album from the godfather of doom, WINO, which is a little bit deceptive because it's not doom whatsoever on here. Again, this is all acoustic guitars, and with WINO singing, of course. And if you look over in the corner over here, it says, there's another little sticker in the corner. It says, Blood and Strings, the Ripple Music Acoustic Series Volume 1. So there you go. That's what that is. I listened to it when I was working, and it was just really dug it. And there's, of course, WINO's photo or a painting of WINO on the back there. There's actually a cool picture of him in the center spread, I think. So there you can see WINO playing acoustic guitar. Yeah, fantastic album. I really enjoyed it. Again, not doom, not heavy, acoustic. So, I don't even know this album well enough to tell you if these are all new songs. I assume they are. I've only heard it once through, and I haven't really investigated further than that. So, if any of you guys have this album and can tell me more about it, I'd be interested to hear it. All right, next up, this is a new wave of British heavy metal band on Ebony Records. This was still sealed. I was a little worried about picking up an old still sealed record. And it was from one of the last shops we went to, and it was $9.99. So I snatched it up. First of all, the cover's worth the price of admission alone. Second of all, I texted my buddy Aaron, the metal theologian, and said, "Hey, what do you know about this one?" And he said it was solid, worth the price. So I grabbed it. And yeah, it's pretty typical for what you expect coming off of Ebony Records in the early to mid '80s. This one being I think about 84 or so, 83 maybe. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. Straightforward heavy metal from the UK, new wave of British heavy metal band, Blade Runner, and the album is called Hunted. And yeah, look at that album cover. Spectacular. I love that old stuff. Now this was the gem of the collection, one of the ones that I was stoked to find. I picked this one up at Henry's store. It was a little bit pricey, but Henry gave me a cool discount deal, so it was really nice of him. This is Thin Lizzy, and this is live at Hakano, Celtic rocker in the East, live at Hakano Sun Plaza, Tokyo, September 25th, 1979. And this is a show I hadn't heard before, so I have spun this once already. I can't go into great detail about it because I only heard it once, but beautiful Japanese packaging. There is no OBI, it didn't come with one, but it does have this little huge hype sticker on the front. It's a double album set, and it's the back cover here, and there's a track listing. So you've got Are You Ready, Bad Reputation, Waiting for an Alibi, Jailbreak, Sweetheart, Do Anything You Want to Do, Don't Believe a Word, Got to Give It Up, Didn't I, Still in Love with You, Emerald, Cowboy Song, The Boys Are Back Down, Suicide, Sha-La-La, Drum Solo, Baby Drives Me Crazy, and I think there's an extra song at the end. I know there was another song that's not listed here because I know there was an extra track on the end. Too bad I can't remember what it was. But yeah, it is not a gatefold. It is a wide single with both out records inside, and it also comes with this huge, I'm gonna say 24 by 36 inch poster, somewhere in that size range. So really cool. Like I said, I'm a huge Thin Lizzy fan, so anything Thin Lizzy I'm a collector of. So glad to find that in a shop, not online, and very cool of Henry to hook me up and get me a discounted price on this thing, because this is not a cheap record. So Thin Lizzy, there you go, live in Japan. So that is a handful of things that I picked up in Texas, or that were given to me, or that I bought. I will do a separate 7-inch video for some of the 7-inch stuff I picked up, because I've got a bunch of 7-inch singles that I've got from other places as well. And that's it. Appreciate y'all watching. If you stick around for a few minutes, I'm going to try to remember to put some photos from that place, from Texas, pictures of Rob and others at the end. So enjoy that, and that's it. God bless. Stay strong.